Top of the morning to you, laddies. Oh, fuck. Alright, today I'm going to be talking about back to the podcast form. Now, I forgot to do in my last video what I should have done, and what I will do in this video is edit my background noise out of the video. I didn't do that, and now, well, shitty audio. So, I got my little list of notes here. Let us begin this. In the form of podcasting, I'm here talking about an anime I recently rewatched known as WIXOSS. The Selector WIXOSS, Selector Incited WIXOSS, and Selector Spread WIXOSS, and Selector Destructed WIXOSS. When I originally watched this anime, I watched it when it was still kind of brand new. But my god, I love this ending. I want to talk about anime that I love is this one. What I mean by ending, I don't mean ending of the story, I meant ending of the ending song. Let's talk about Selector WIXOSS. I can literally rewatch this anime. I love it so much. Like, there's Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that, but like number 2 would have to be Selector. And my god, sadly I don't have a WIXOSS deck, nor interest in the card game. Even though the game is right up my weeb-ass alley. I mean, come on, your deck master. For anyone that's seen the Noah arc and all that, remember the whole deck master thing they had back in Yu-Gi-Oh? That's basically it's basically that, but it's just an anime waifu, and you basically just power her up and shit. That's what I gathered from the anime, at least. Funny thing, this anime focuses more on the I don't know what I just did there. Anyway, this anime focuses more on the story than the actual gameplay, and there's really no rules, you could say. I mean, there's obviously some rule structure, and their characters themselves are following, but other than that, it's just like season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! They're just doing shit. They're not even, they just yell things and things just happen. But fuck, the story is deep. Well, then again, I don't know if I could really say that just because of the fact that I haven't watched that many deep, quote unquote, animes. But there is story here, is what I'm saying here. It's not season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! This is story time right here. Anyway, that's how I feel about it anyway. I will say, however, I love the first seasons. What I mean by first seasons is they kind of split it up to season 1 and season 2. Season 1 will be Selector, season 2 will be Lost Storage. Basically. So like I was saying, it's kind of selected between seasons. Season 1 will be Selector, and season 2 will be Lost Storage. I'm talking here about season 1 WIXOSS, season 1 Selector anime here. But technically, it is 2 seasons. The first season would be Selector Incited WIXOSS, and season 2 would be Selector Spread WIXOSS. Anyway, when I say season 1, I mean Selector. I really love the art style of it. Kind of how they all have that. You could kind of tell because of the unique art style they gave it, because of like the noses of the anime characters. Out of all the animes, all that stuff, you kind of see a pattern how they do the noses and shit. Usually they just put a little dot, sometimes a little bit more, and then other times like this. I do like this art style a lot, and I was really sad to see this art style kind of go with Lost Storage. But they kind of just changed the noses, and that really kind of fucked me up a bit. I know it's a really weird thing, but anyway, I'll be rewatching in dub. Usually when I watch anime, I'm a sub viewer, and I only watch things that are subtitled in with Japanese and all that, because that's how I prefer to watch my animes. But since they have a dub, I will watch in dub, and I'll give my thoughts and opinion about everything. I'll be rewatching the dub till I can't take it anymore. So let's get into it. On trying to watch a dub, I went to Funimation because they did have it on Verb, but then Funimation split from Crunchyroll, so they no longer have it on Verb, and that's basically it. I tried to watch it on Funimation, saw episode 1, 2, and then they cock blocked me by basically saying, "Go ahead and get a subscription." I couldn't watch it free with ads. Womp womp. So I did the second best thing, and I went to a anime website and I watched it there. And unlike other YouTubers, I will be giving out where you could actually watch the anime for free. I do like the anime enough to the point where I will, and I want to buy it on DVD and own it um, as much as I can of it. But in the description, or actually just a link down, or the comment, pinned comment, or whatever, whichever is easiest for me, you will find the nice little site to watch it on. And hopefully you can go watch it and all that. I really like it a lot. Anyway, so the dubbing, um, yeah, okay, the voices fit. They didn't really ignore. What is it? Irritate me. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I was gonna say ignore me. Um, but yeah, they didn't irritate me. When I first ever watched the anime back then, uh, it went from I really liked the sub, and then I heard the dub, and I just thought it was blasphemy, basically. That wish is blasphemy. And I just didn't like how Kira was yelling bitch and all this stuff. I like the Japanese better on that because they don't use curse words to convey their emotions, but I changed as a person, and I would say yeah, a good dub. Uh, I guess I've been too scarred from the Yu-Gi-Oh dubbing from 4Kids to trust the dub, but when watching it. I'll say something about this because we are in spoiler territory, mind you. If you want to watch it, down below, uh, before we hit the real big spoilers here, because we're not stopping on the spoiler train. This is the spoiler train. I'm giving this anime all that I have. We're going full blown here with the spoilers as I talk about this, as I talk about Selector. So link in the description to watch the episode. Um, it's it goes Selector, Incited, WIXOSS, Selector, Spread, WIXOSS, and then I watch Selector, Destructed, WIXOSS. So I'll be talking about Incited, Spread, and then the movie, and then I'll give my rating, I guess you could say. This is a review discussion after all. So with that being said, the emotions came back to me because this anime is kind of Madoka Magic mixed with Yu-Gi-Oh. But I'll get onto that in a little bit right now. All I want to say is, yeah, I felt some of the emotions hitting me again when I first watched it the first time around. I won't lie, tears did come to my eyes, uh, and I got emotional watching this anime. And again, rewatching it, yeah, probably a little bit more emotional. Um, just with everything just hitting me and shit. Um, I did write down some notes here on a note I did write when I was watching this. Shit, all the emotions are coming back, which is really true. This anime has like combined Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Madoka. And then the next note is God, I love how her room looks in the morning light. That is because Ruko was in bed and just how nice it just looked. That's more of a me thing than the anime thing. I'll be honest. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the card game. It kind of self. The card game it kind of self. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to. It's a card game anime, so you're gonna just jump and say Yu-Gi-Oh, but it kind of is. It kind of isn't. It has a darkness and despair side of it, so it kind of is Madoka Magica in a sense. It's way more like season one Yu-Gi-Oh. Probably a little bit more like season zero Yu-Gi-Oh. And if you ever watched Bakugan, the original Bakugan from like 2008 or 2010, I don't remember when all that happened. But if you watch the original Bakugan, their Bakugan would talk to them and shit, and the Bakugan were real entities. They were actually alien creatures from a different world, or I guess creatures from a different dimension. I should say that. What the hell? Anyway, um, so that's basically kind of the comparison you could draw there. Hmm. Yep, water. So hold me tight. And then I should just that's when it cues to the next thing. So watching a lot of anime, you kind of get the sense of the I guess you could say shonen pro tag here because I wrote down I love the twist they had on shonen pro tag, but what I meant by that is in this little note is basically the character that's like, yeah guys, we're gonna do it, and they go out and they do it and they win the day and they have a lot of fun with their friends and all that. The twist here on that is Ruko is that protagonist. She's just a simple girl, I guess. She does have some deep seated problematic roots, I guess you could say, because of what happened in her childhood and the disownment of her parent. So she probably feels like she isn't loved that much and all that. And God, just I want to give her a hug so bad and a pat on the head, pat on the head, pat on the head. Anyway, we we see her find a hobby. We see her pick it up. We see her play. We see her being very energetic about it and very happy. And when she meets Yuzuki, the incest girl, she doesn't really care, and she offers to just basically lose. She's just having fun. It's just a game to her because games are to have fun. And the seriousness of the matter and just the twist of it all is that she doesn't have a wish. She's not really fighting for anything, and but she's really good at the game, and all this stuff is kind of just thrown upon her. So let's take you. Let's if you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, let's take Yuma for instance. He sucked at the game, all this. He got better, but he was always, katamingo, which means basically he's gonna give it to them. He's gonna show. He's gonna show up his opponent. Show up his opponent. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. He's gonna basically one up his opponent and basically just defeat his opponent. And he's all full of joy and he's very energetic duelist and all this stuff. He has the King of Wishes, Hope, as his main boss monster, and he's gonna show light and all this to his opponents, and he's gonna beat them all. They're gonna have a fun time. And Ruko is basically that character. That's what she's basically supposed to be. Is a fun-loving protagonist, but now she's thrown into this darkened world and all this stuff with these wishes actually meaning things, and and the first character that she befriends is I would say a real fighter of this world. She's fighting for a wish that she really wants, which is it's a taboo wish and all that. Honestly, I don't give a shit about the answers. I don't know. I'm not. It's what I don't give a shit. I, which I know a lot of people like, because I was watching this one review from this one dude. He was like, this show went balls to the wall. They had incest and all this, and there was a real Yuri romance in this, and it was two girls loving each other. And I was saying to myself, oh yeah, I really don't give a shit about, like, when it first happened. I was like, wow. And then on the second watching, I was like, oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what happened. I forgot. I didn't forget. You never forget like shit like that. I was like, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, she likes a guy, and I don't give a shit. I give like half a shit because you see, because we spend some time with this character. We see the turmoil that goes through her, and I did see the pain through it and all that. Of course, incest is a no. That's bad. You don't do that. For legal reasons, I have to say that I live in Alabama, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this video. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. I feel I would hope when people look at this anime, they just don't think, "Oh, it had the incest in it." because I don't see it that way. When I see this anime, I think, oh shit, the pain. When I say the pain, I mean like the pain that the main character went through, the pain that the you would classify as a villain character went through, but she isn't really the villain, but yes, she is totally the villain. And the sadistic fuck that Eulith is, even though it's not really her real name. Um, that pain is what I'm talking about. Um, wait, was it unless? Oh no. Okay, no, never mind, never mind. I was getting things mixed up. Wait a second. What? Yuri? What the fuck was he talking about when he said Yuri? You know what? I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about. Anyway, I actually don't. I looked up a review of this anime years ago when I first watched it. There's like 3 or 2 videos. Now I think more people made up more opinions on it. I don't care. I'm just gonna get on my opinions. I saw like one or 2 videos and I was really I really was like whatever. Here is the thing. Ending. Let's talk about the ending of the first season. God, what a reversal. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Um, let's talk about spread now. Because you can see, it's kind of disjointed. I'm just kind of mouthing off what I'm feeling and all that. So Selector spread. Spread here. Basically, everything. The whole series would have just wrapped up then and there if Tama would have just said, "All right, I'm granting your wish." But on rewatching the second season, it's a bit interesting because if you don't communicate 100% with your partner, and this could be partner with anything, shit's not gonna fly that good, and there may be distrust, mistrust, and misinterpretation. You have to be upfront and be like, "Hey, this is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. No shits here. This is what I'm really talking about here, man. Like, dude." And then your partner will be like, "Okay, I understand." That is something. Clear communication is not what Tama and Ruko had, because Ruko was hiding some of her emotions because she didn't really know the whole story. All she knew was that most likely, after she makes this wish, she's probably going to be stuck in a card, and she probably won't have that ice cream with her friends, and her friend being Tama. So but she doesn't really want to bring that up to worry Tama, so she can get her wish granted. And because of that little mishap, Iona, in quotation marks, um, basically becomes her Elrig, and and her wish is halfway filled and all that. I do think it's very interesting that they met the way they did, uh, Iona and Eulith, and Tama with uh, Roku. Wait, Ryoko, Ru, with Ru. All right, I'll just call her Ru. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, there was a bit of a when watching the anime. There was a bit of a dynamic of white versus dark, or evil versus good, or good versus evil, but I couldn't really get a whole gist of that clearly. Because you could tell that Ru and Tama are the good side, but who are the evil people? It's kind of muddied and gray, really. Because Iona with Eulith is a very evil individual. Um, she's definitely not good. I'll say that. But Iona wasn't evil herself. She was just she was just there, wanting her wish to be granted to be the Elbrig of a very powerful selector, so she could keep playing. Um, Mayu's game. Mayu wasn't evil, really. She was just born out of circumstance, and out of that seed was born something you would probably call evil. So it kind of goes that way, and her Elrig ended up being Eulith, and you could kind of see the bad versus evil, but it was like 100% good versus like 50% evil. Um, but mainly, what it all really was an internal struggle because of the two parts being light and dark, Tama and and Yuki being snow in that summer and all that. Uh, Tama was born out of all the goodness and love that Mayu had, and Yuki was born out of all the pain and suffering she held in her, and both of them fused to make basically they really did not want to step and call her the girl of gray, even though all I can think of is the girl of white, the girl of black, the girl of gray. Um, because black and white they fused to make gray, but instead they kept saying black and white. They go into the world that has many colors. It should be the gray world they go into, and in that gray world holds many colors or something. I don't know. Thank God I didn't write this anime. I wasn't on the writing team, guys. Hey, but that's what I was thinking every time they mentioned that, and it's pretty interesting. And now I'm looking back on it. It was a internal struggle with Mayu herself, and this was just basically her. Maybe she was a real main character in all this, but I think there was lessons to be taught and lessons that I think the characters did learn, and everyone got a happy ending. And it's the person I was watching that review of basically said it was like a I don't know I think it was a review I read or something where they said it was an okay ending. Hopefully next time they can make a good ending. And I was like, what? Because as much as I at the ending of Selector Spread, I cried. I felt emotion. Out of all the darkness and whatever, it was basically a dark individual got touched by a light individual, or the darkness got touched by light, and that light basically spread and infected. Wow, look at that. Selector, infect. Well, Incited actually, not infected. Is it infected? Well, whatever. It spread basically. The light spread into the darkness and shattering that dark away. And now the light is here, and this is why it's a happy ending. And I didn't feel like the anime was like the power of friendship saved the day when and to be honest, in a too long didn't read of this anime, it kind of is a too long. It is a friendship save the day type of anime at the end of the day, but how it went about it wasn't so typical. It wasn't so. Then then Brew destroyed the dragon, and I don't know something that's just a little too for kids, I guess you could say. How it was all handled, how it was all done, it was a masterpiece. So I would have to say is very good. Yeah, I'm praising this anime highly. Maybe I shouldn't, but it was just how everything clicked. Though is what I liked a lot about it. Another thing I liked about it is let's talk soundtrack. I love the OST of this anime series, mind you, series, not just this, but also in Lost Storage. I have them on my iPod. I love it. I was not expecting dubsteppy music, and I don't like dubsteppy music. The only artist that actually turned me on to dubstep is Cell Dwellers, Wished Upon a Black Star, and Cell Dweller knows how to do dubstep good. Um, and we're talking about the scrollless shit over here. Anyway, but this has that dubsteppy kind of shit going to it, and I didn't expect it. You know how Madoka Magica? I don't know if you watched it or not, but for those of you who have watched Madoka Magica, there's that one OST where it's just like this Celtic ass fucking theme playing, and I think that the actual OST of it is why can't magical girls have Celtic music or something like that. Um, you know what? Nah, I don't. I won't. I'll leave it in this. I'll leave it in the description. The Celtic song I'm talking about. Like you don't expect that in fucking Magical Girls. Actually, all of Madoka Magical soundtrack, you don't expect that at all in Magical Girls. I fucking bet. I'm sure as hell wouldn't be expecting to hear fucking Celtic ass, fucking epic ass, fucking music and fucking fuck. Uh, Tokyo Mew Mew, or maybe I do, but I was gonna say Sailor Moon. I never actually watched any Magical Girl animes except for maybe three. Let me see if I can name them. I know Madagula Magica, Little Witch Academia, and then the last Magical Girl show. Oh, I know. Well, no, you can't count that as a Magical Girl show. Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it is. So there is a demon girl in my neighborhood or something like that, but it's more like a demon show because the girl is a demon, but like her main rival is a magical girl. Why is her main rival? You know what? It's a comedy anime. I'm not gonna. A rival should have been. That would make more sense if it was. It's like really weird. Why is the demon fighting a mad? That didn't hit me till right now. That fucking didn't hit me. Anyway, I think that's really the quote unquote magical girl shows. I don't really watch magical girl shows. I know like the moon and shit, but like the night and shit, but like I don't really give a shit about Sailor Moon. I only like the theme because it's like that J-pop shit. You know, it's really fucking catchy. Anyway, back to Selector soundtrack. Yes, 10 out of 10. I like the art style. I like the characters. The number one character I liked in all this was Ruko. Rue. She is one of my favorite female characters. Um, but let's get gender out of this because we can see the characters truly stand on merit. She's one of my favorite characters in all the fucking anime fiction. Um, I just really like her. I don't know. I don't know why. Um, maybe I don't like her that much, but anyway, I should, maybe I should make a top. Maybe after I rewatch some series, I should make a top anime top top 10 all time best anime characters. Number one, Jill from Jack Off Jill. So sorry about that. Is there anybody else I want to talk about? I want to talk about characters. I guess the other character I could talk about is Mayu. Um, I feel for that girl. I feel sad for that girl. And that's about it. Let's talk about Selector Destructed now with Cross. I guess it's called Destructed because this is the final act of everything, and it's kind of like the true story. Yulif kind of got absorbed at the ending there just by plain fucking darkness, and Mayu was like, "I'm sorry, but you chose. I'm sorry, but you chose the right color." And the color was no color, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the anime is fuck hitting it right now." Yeah, I was thinking about that. Actually, I was gonna. There we go again. They could have said the color gray. In all honesty, because it's black and white. Anyway, I should have made Mayu the girl of gray. God damn it. Anyway, but yeah, it was no color. Which apparently you can choose. Because no color symbolizes the possibilities and all that. And I loved Mayu when I'm not talking about Mayu, the girl. I'm talking about Mayu, the Elbrick. I love Mayu's design when it's Tama and Yuki combined into one entity known as Mayu. She just looks so adorable. My God. Anyway, and then she looked also hella epic. Just I like how every time they crossed, they grow. They just looked more and more anime as fuck. And then as Tama kept fighting, she basically she ended up growing more. Tama went from being I think barefoot to basically getting these like kick ass looking fucking boots with all these fucking studs and shit on them. It was like fucking white as shit with a heel on it, which is just really random, but yet it fit a little too perfect. And then for Yuki, whenever she would grow that little wing on the side of her breast, um, yeah, that wing would like grow even bigger, and then like she has another wing on the other side. It's more like a feather, I guess you should say. She looks straight up like a ballerina though, which I don't know. Is there some deep video where it's like behind the designs? This is the real meaning. Uh, Other than that, I don't know. There's no characters where I could like dissect and pick and be like, ooh, this. 'Cause, usually characters are like they're there. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it, yeah. I do want to touch upon. Well, actually, yeah. Before I go full on to Selector Destructed WIXOSS, Akira X Ulith. Uh, whew, watching it the first time, holy fuck, is that wrong? Wait, yeah, holy shit, is that wrong? But by God, is it erotic? When I first watched it, oh my God, and that was my reaction to all of it. Second time watching it around, my skin crawled because I knew that this was just a facade that Ulith was doing just to manipulate Akira, into doing it. Oh yeah, her name's Akira Oi. Ioi. Um, but also I realized something. Holy shit! Why didn't I notice this before? Because they're both played as these beautiful, because they're models, girls, and one is a rich girl with a limo and all this stuff, and the other one seems to be some sort of popular girl, gal type of rebel. Because if you notice on her uniform, she's wearing. She kind of has that gal motif going on, not a full blown gal, but and her socks aren't really. Well, I don't know. Are they up to code? Um, the fuck is that? I get fucking attacked. Anyway, so with Akira's design and all that, you kind of think of her as probably living in some sort of house, or not in Ru's. Which I think about it, yeah, most anime that I watch, yeah, now I fucking realize it. Holy shit, most anime I've watched, it's like there's an anime character, they're going to school, but their parents are never around. And it kind of hit me right now. Oh yeah, like their parents must be actually, because now I'm thinking about the characters and where they live. The the characters in those other animes, their parents must be like working through fucking hell and back. Cause holy shit, because they have a house and they have somewhat nice clothes, and they just go to fucking school, and that's really it. Uh, Look at where Rue's living. Rue is living in what looks to be a worn down, sad looking apartment with her grandma and her brother, and that's Rue's world right there. Look at also Yuzuki and her brother and where they live. It's also another apartment that looks a little run down in the city. Then you look at, I guess where where basically, I guess, Iona, is that, have I been saying her name wrong? You look at where she's living, you know, and do we even see? Oh no, we see where she's going to be living, and it's this grand ass, big ass building, basically, because she's the daughter of a very wealthy man, and we see, and the other two characters are named Yuzuki and Rue. It's not really that bad, in all honesty. It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, where they live, and it's just some apartment building, basically, and you have to really wonder. That must mean there has to be a lot of work to basically own a house. But anyway, I bring this all up to just point at where Akira lives. Akira lives in like the same sad looking apartment complex little building, and it's fucking little as, now I don't know if that's her house, to be exact. I don't know. I don't know if it's like there's multiple rooms or those other rooms are other people type of thing. But from the looks of it, it looked really worn down, really just messed up and janky. And now I remember the building kind of looks like the building that that girl from Demon in My Neighborhood or whatever that was called, uh, Demon Girl in My Neighborhood or whatever. Um, and that Demon Girl basically lived on her family lived on like $400 allowance basically, and they had to just make do with whatever the fuck they had. Mother's always saving coupons and shit. This is really interesting to look back on this and to realize that holy shit, this girl, literally, her wanting to kick and be number one against Iona, yeah, um, is her literally means that she makes more money, means that she could leave that small little just disgusting looking ass. Okay, it's not that bad. Apartment, you know, maybe help her mother, maybe not. I don't fucking know her will, but just like now it puts some things a little bit more in perspective. Now it makes a little bit more sense why she's more crazed now when you rewatch it. And looking back on it, uh, the scar on her face, no wonder she was so heavily depressed. It wasn't only because she wanted to portray herself as beautiful, but it was probably because she will probably. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Number one is because she's no longer beautiful and now she's out of a job, and that was like her whole fucking world. But number two was also because like that paycheck ain't gonna be fucking cutting anymore, you know, and all this shit. You know, this nice high life that the poor commoner girl has came into is just no more now. Now she's plummeted. And now it makes things even more sick when you think about what Eulith, came up to her, fucking, hugged her. Well, she didn't kiss her. Honestly, there was like two or about maybe three opportunities where she could have just kissed her on the mouth. And I had the question, why didn't she do it? Wouldn't that just make like I really have the question, why didn't she do it? Like, because if she didn't, I'm pretty sure Akira's eyes would have probably lightened up, and then Akira would have been like, "Yeah, I'll be your servant even more." But then again, you kind of see that Eulith kind of got fed up over time with Akira. Like, she already destroyed her. Kind of, the pawn already is already used up. I don't really give a shit. I guess that was the mentality of it, but it still freaks me the fuck out every time I see her lick her scar. It fucking reminds me of fucking Bakura. When Bakura fucking rips out Pegasus' eye and he fucking licks it. Just, Jesus, my God, why? And then the fucking ending of everything. This is in WIXOSS, Selector spread, by the way, where what's it? No, I think it was Destructed. Yeah, okay. And Destructed near the ending where Tama basically runs up and then she just fucking licks Rue's and she didn't lick Rue's eye. She licked her cheek that had her tear on it because you could see that Rue quickly closed her eye, which is a very nice touch. I had to be honest. They didn't cut any fucking corners. Like money well spent, dudes. So she quickly closed her eye. She licks her eye. I want to say she licks her eye. It looks like she licks her eye, and then she says, "Wow, you're salty." Which I get. Oh my, what the fuck? Like it's a little cute. I see what they did there, and it's real touching. She's still because Thomas still like really innocent and all that. But like, oh my god, why did you make her lick her eye? Why the fuck? But you didn't make her lick her eye. You make her lick her cheek. It's just that. It's way more disgusting when you say lick her eye. All I could think of in that moment when that happened, and I won't be honest. I mean, shit. I will be honest. It kind of did ruin it just a little bit for me because I think I was shit, now she's gonna get fucking eye infection like a month later. Now she's gonna she's gonna have to get her eye removed. Damn it, Tom. Anyway, but that's really interesting. I would not call that a Yuri romance in any fucking. It is not. It is not. If you come in thinking, wow, some girls gonna get it on. Yeah, no. Well, they are gonna get it on, but not the way you think. But yeah, it just makes the whole manipulating shit just whoa. So on to Destructed. Destructed is a summary series. Well, it's a movie, and if you finish the spread, you will want to watch Destructed, because Destructed is basically, you ever play Sonic Heroes where you have to go through all four stories, then you unlock the true ending, and then you gotta play the true ending because that is the final ending of everything. Everyone's story just goes in, just accumulates, and that is what Destructed WIXOSS is. Watch it. It kind of begins in a prologue. There's a shit ton of recap, and all in all, it goes more into it. So there's a girl. I forgot what the girl's name is. Oh my god. Um, there's another girl known as Sachi, and they both, in some weird way, know each other, and they both also know Rue. So in this weird way, Waycross is not only a story about Mayu overcoming herself and lessons being learned, but it's also a story about destiny and fate intertwining people and events. Uh, so if I try to remember really hard, because I'll probably have to watch it one last time to truly understand it, and I don't know when the hell I'm gonna watch it one last time to truly understand it, because I don't feel like rewatching it. And honestly, watching the whole recap scene again, it gets pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie about that, because I already spent like those 26 episodes of watching the whole series, and I don't want to watch a recap. But we see that some girl's in darkness, and her body's just lighting up. Um, I'm going to assume that is Eulith, as we come to know. I forgot what her real name is. Should I look this up? I guess I should look this up. Uh, we got. There I go again. WIXOSS. Wiki. Eulith. Sorry about that. Alright, so I cut out some audio here because I'm click-clacking away, looking up this Eulith shit right here. Kinda seeing things. Okay. But on the wiki, apparently my IP has been blocked, which, okay, it isn't that like, whoa, because I'm using a VPN. But that means someone on the same exact shit is a fan of Selector. But the reason given why it's blocked is because of vandalism, which is very, very random, and it's very, very funny. Uh, yeah, you can hear me click clacking away. Living Spirit, Dragon Beast. And now I'm just looking at shit. Oh my god, she's so cute. See, this is what I'm talking about. This weeb ass game was made for me. Anyway. Why is there no picture? Alright, so, I think I understand. Alright. Okay, I finally realized. Okay, so Ruko, yeah, okay, that's her name. Ruko meets a girl known as Sachi, and and Sachi is basically connected and somewhat friends to Rumi, and Rumi is Eulith. Okay, Sachi, Rumi, Ruko. What I don't understand is watching the fucking movie. From my point of view, from what it seemed to be, is that Ruko was Rumi. Like they were one and the same, kind of, but not really. Um, it was just so confusing. But anyway, the reason why Rumi hates Ruko is because Ruko is like Sashi. Okay. Anyway, um, I think because basically talking about Destructed is basically just talking about the ending. I kinda, because this is the ultimate ending of everything here. This is when Tama is on the rooftop of the school with Ryoko. Shit, not Ryoko. with Ruko. Ruko's her name, damn it. With Ruko Kaminato. Okay. Anyway, gotta calm down here. Okay. And after they have their ending, I love how it goes completely black. It's completely silent. There's no audio. There's nothing. It's only the thoughts of Eulith, aka Rumi. And the darkness is just enveloping her, and she finally says, "This is it. This is what she's just always wanted in her life. Just darkness and to be truly alone." Which is like really fucking crazy because that is the opposite of what Mayu wanted. Mayu wanted to be with people, the outside world, and all this. But Eulith just wanted complete loneliness. The reason why she wanted this loneliness because noble people, good people, always reached out to her and tried to help her, but it was always just fake, and she could tell it was just fake, and she just wanted it all gone, and she just wanted to be alone, and the only real thing here is her. The only real thing here is this darkness. But then someone touches her. That would be Sachi. And Eulith is very surprised by this, and they have basically they make up, basically, I guess you could say that. Sachi basically tells her that she's not going to leave her alone, no matter what, and she's always going to be by her side. Because it's Japan, they're both naked in the endless void. See, I told you this shit was like Madoka Magica, alright? Remember that part of Madoka Magica where they were in space, completely nude? Anyway, thank you, Japan. Anyway, I believe that voice talking to them was Mayu. I'm pretty sure. Some form of Mayu. Maybe the last fading bits of Mayu. Just explains that basically you two are stuck here like this because you have no original forms to go back to. And of course, we see that Sachi was in the hospital, dying. She tried to kill herself. Um, no explanation as to why she tried to kill herself. Just she killed herself. I'm sorry, she tried to, and now she's just in a coma, basically. So I guess you put the pieces together that maybe she finally died. And they drift off into nothingness, just together with the light in their own hands. And for some weird reason, this outcome is like, it's just too, it's perfect, it's lovely, it's wonderful, it's a lot of things. And I guess it's very powerful. You could cry over it. I don't remember if I cried or not, but just, it felt right, basically. And then the movie ends and the credits play. And again, maybe I'm praising the anime too highly, but in my eyes, I view this as a masterpiece of work. The ending song plays, and it's a pretty good ass ending song. It's called Love Your Enemies, which I think is a pretty interesting title for it. It's a pretty interesting title for this whole thing because, in the end of the day, Eulith was just someone who needed love, but by someone very special. Uh, Someone who just wouldn't give up on her no matter what. And the other person just needed, honestly, a friend. And to be shown that the real world isn't that bad, and that is what Ruko did. Um, Anyway, so with all that being said, I was gonna, with all that being said and everything, I was gonna go ahead and make a little bit of a funny like rating system. It was gonna be very light. It was gonna be a 5-rating system, a 5-star rating system, where it was gonna be measured by my enjoyment. You know, the lowest enemy could probably go as a 2 or a 1. You know, 3 was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. 4 means yeah, 5 is ultimate, and basically all the series we're gonna probably land on 4, and then a lot we're gonna land on 5. A lot more we're gonna land on 4, and then a couple we're gonna land on 3, and it was just basically like, yeah, you know, I was gonna spit that out in the beginning and all that, but now thinking about it, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give a real, because this anime is obviously 5 on that scale, but I'm gonna give my actual, I'm gonna do a whole little rating system here. But I also like to go ahead and I guess adopt the rating system from my anime list, because that is the actual rating system they have there. I guess I can pull up. Maybe not. Let's go to my profile and let's go to my enemies that have lynched. Let's go to completed. Anyway, with thinking about everything, the music, the characters, and especially the story, it is just, ooh, that may be too painful for me to watch again. Fuck. There's some anime here and I don't know if I really want to rewatch. But I know the anime that I want to rewatch are the anime I want to rewatch. And the anime series I guess I wanted to rewatch would be Selector. So, using the same thing, appealing, being, so count it with me, appealing, horrible, very bad, bad, average, fine, good, very good, great, and masterpiece. So that's a 10 right there. I gave everything of Selector a 10. It is a masterpiece in my eyes, and I'm going to go ahead and give it 10 stars. 10 stars out of, I'll say out of 0. 10 stars out of 10 is basically my rating on the Selector series. I don't know how Lost Storage is going to go, but from everything I've seen, yes. And from my point of view, it's not one versus the other. In my point of view, it is a big, long-ass story. As just all together now. I'm going to give myself a break by watching Madoka Magica. So, next what I'll be talking about is Madoka Magica and everything animated related to Madoka Magica that is currently out. It is 2019, November over here. This video will be out very shortly, I'll say. But it is 50 minutes and I don't want to go past 55. My god, I don't. But hopefully you liked this, and that is my final rating of this anime. It's a fucking masterpiece. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you look forward to watching my thoughts and opinions on Madoka Magica. And hey, don't be afraid to leave any comments or criticism about this anime in the comments below. I want to know what you guys have to say about this and all that. In between, maybe my mic's really shitty, maybe I need to turn it up a bit more, maybe I need to turn it a little bit more lower, whatever. Thank you for watching, like, comment, subscribe if you want to.
I see my fate is in the game, just turn the card and you'll see it's a lie. I know the lights are shining on the stage, please hear the cheers that call my name. Break apart the walls they built around you till you stand and see who you want to be. But is this really me? There's just one tomorrow, all the pain and all the sorrow that I left behind. What needed you to get to you? My pain was always losing, but I'll make it through and finally shine. My heart's in shards like the cards, so now I know